live. How's it going? Oh my goodness. Belmont is in the chat. I've missed you. I haven't seen you in a lot of episodes. Yeah, I've been doing good. I actually found some ramen noodles. I didn't know that they are this good. I thought that packaged food is usually bad. Like, you should cook your own food. But they opened a Korean store, which in Romania is something extraordinary. We never had a Korean store before. And so I got some ramen noodles from there. And they're absolutely delish. Unfortunately, they also mess with my diet. So I can't have that many of them. But I think like 1 cup per week is probably going to be good enough. No, I wasn't talking to myself for 10 minutes. No. I was just late. Anyway, right. A couple of things happened. We're going to be talking about Devil May Cry today. There's also another video game that got censored on Steam. Apparently there's this video game. I don't know if I should talk about it now or wait until more people get in. But it's called No Mercy. And apparently it's a visual novel, which it involved like the mother of the character do something bad. I don't know the game. Like, I haven't played it. Not my type of thing. But I'm seeing it trending on Twitter, right? So, in the game you have to punish your mother. Now, the game is adult, right? And so you gotta punish your mutti. And it's non-consensual. Now, I understand the philosophy of our time. A video game like... What was it? Manhunt, right? Like a video game like Manhunt where you decapitate people and you throw the head into a crowd, and the video game is actually really popular and it's breaking all the sales. And, you know, like that's fine. Okay. But the moment it's about the cock and pussy, everyone freaks out and destabilizes society. Now, I come from a time where being edgy was fucking cool. Right? Like if you created something that shocked people, that disgusted people, the more people that disgusted, the more people that shocked gave you more street cred. Like, that was being awesome, you know? Because look at all these weak motherfuckers. Like they can't handle a story. They can choose to just pretend it's not there and just fucking walk away and mind their own business. But look, they're acting like bitches. They're acting like little bitches going, oh my goodness, oh, South Park Season 1. Oh no, heavy metal. Oh no, emo music. Oh, horrible, horrible. And we used to laugh at them. It's like, look how pathetic they are. Like, if they freak out over heavy metal music, what happens when they get fired or their mom dies? Or, you know, like something actually important? Like how do they manage to survive if they freak out over the most trivial shit imaginable? But now apparently society is elevating those people. Is considering that, well, these people are our most virtuous members of society. Like our society produces excellence, and the excellence is the Karen. Like, this is, you know, you have China producing military, you got the Chinese culture just dominating the West. What do we produce? We produce the most excellent Karens in the fucking world. And so, to me, it's like, okay, well, this game got banned from Steam. Alright, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. But what does surprise me is that it was started by British feminists. And I'm like, well, I mean, I guess this was on their plate that day, right? Like, I guess that was what was burning in Britain at the time. It's like this video game, which glorifies, oh my goodness, glorifies sex. So basically, you're telling me that if we look at the London rape gangs, right, we're going to see that each and every one of them had the Steam account and was purchasing these video games, and the feminists said, enough. We need to crack down on this evil in our society. The reality is, and this is my take, I think, like, porn is, like, the low-hanging fruit. And so, like, people that want to be seen as they're doing something, they're going after porn. Because, like, no one is going to defend porn, no one is going to complain, right? And they're expecting standing ovations. It's like, congratulations, wow. You managed to take a game off Steam. Now, we're not going to mention the fact that this publicity actually did make the game famous, probably quadrupled its profits. It's probably still selling now on whatever fucking platforms it's still there. But we have to ignore that and go like, wow, congratulations, wow, holy shit, the accomplishment, ooh la la. I mean, look, it's Cloud World, okay? Always was, never gonna change. Peak Cloud is going to be Peak Cloud. We need to bring edgy back. I don't know, like, it probably will take several generations until people just take their head out of their ass, you know? Like again, the whole thing with edgy is like, I remember when I was younger and there was like a lot of shit on the internet. But like, if it was something that disturbed me, I just didn't fucking click on it. Like, there was a little bit of balance going on. You know, like, people would actually send you disturbing shit. Like, there was this thing called Lemon Party where it was like a bunch of gay old men performing an orgy. Like, it was the most violent, disgusting thing. You know, like 2 girls, 1 cup. Like, there were things made specifically to shock. And the joke was if the person gets shocked. Like, if you're offended by that, if you're disgusted by that, and you start to complain, you become the joke. Like, the joke is not the image, it's not the shocking content. The joke is the reaction that some people have who don't know how to just close the content, use the block and mute button. Well, like, because the question is, like, how do these people go through life? Well, like, this is trivial. It's an image on your monitor, alright? And you can't fucking close it? Like, you're really that incapable of fucking closing it? Are you really that dumb? And so it is what it is, you know? Well, yeah, we can't wait 50 years. It's true. Well, I guess, you know, we experienced the golden era before it was taken away. We managed to get what the glory internet of the Wild West before it got taken away. Normalize applying corrections to canons. There are societies, and I noticed this, like, when it comes to religion. I swear to fucking God, like, Orthodox people are so fucking chill. The thing that we hate the most, like, the biggest sin here seems to be the canon. It's why wokeness just doesn't fucking work in our culture. It's like, people have an adverse reaction to the canon. We just don't like it. We have a slur for canon in our language, if you can believe it or not. Anyway. Anyone remember the late 90s, the gay black Nazi website? Dude, like, there was, like, literally anything you could imagine that would offend someone existed on the internet. Like, if it was offensive, it existed. And not only that, like, people tried to outdo each other on making, like, more and more offensive things. Oh my goodness, like, what is it? We have, like, a couple, actually. Bogator and Sama, like, how do I translate this? Hold on, I need to ask ChatGPT, like, maybe ChatGPT can understand the nuance, because I don't even know how to fucking translate it. It's like one of those things that's like a euphemism. Yeah, it just doesn't fucking translate. like it's such an original slur. But it's usually like about when 2 people are doing their own thing, and a third person comes, excuse me, you're not allowed. Excuse me, you're not supposed to. And well, sorry, this is not okay. You know, like there's a slur for that type of behavior. There's another slur for a person that, like, what are you doing there? Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? You know, like, there's a slur for that. Ce te fute grija is the answer, right? There's just, like, again, I can't do justice by translating them. They're just, like, so rooted in Romanian language, which is why I have, like, a allergic reaction to anything that's canon. I just can't handle them. It's the way I grew up. See, I would be disrespecting my parents and my ancestors if I was to tolerate it. Sticking your nose into other people's business. Yeah, but that's just so so nicely put. You know, it's not an insult. It would be like a nose sticker, I guess. You know, but even then, it's not vulgar enough. Like, the person doesn't feel insulted. My wife is called Karen. I pity you. I'm sorry to hear that. Bipedal species, I genuinely am. I hope that you're going to find a solution for that trouble. Should I tell you what happened in my country? Like, this is gold. Okay, so a little bit of Romanian politics. A lot of you won't get the context, but the leftist party was supporting a woman, which was their president. So, like this, imagine this situation, which pretty much happened in the United States, but like it didn't happen like in Romania, right? So like Joe Biden is the runner-up for the Democrats, right? And everyone, like the entire Democrat Party, is gathering funds for him. And so everyone is donating to the Democrats, thinking that, well, they're donating for Joe Biden. But then, imagine if Joe Biden didn't resign. Now, imagine if the Democrat Party would have said, yeah, we're now going to donate it to Kamala Harris instead. Like all of our funding, everything that we gathered, yeah, we're not going to give it to Joe. We're going to give it to Kamala. Okay? Now here's the punchline. Imagine if Kamala, so Joe Biden comes out, he's absolutely baffled, doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Like what do you mean? Like you guys told me that I'm the runner-up. But they're like, nope, Joe, we don't like you. We're going to donate to Kamala. And then the next day, Kamala comes up and tells the Democrats to go fuck themselves. Now, this is literally the situation in my country. Like, you have this lady, Elena Lasconi. She's the leader of a party called USR. Pretty much like the corporatist party. And she's basically told that, we're not going to support you anymore. We're going to donate money to this other guy. We're going to donate money to Nico Jordan. And she's bewildered. She's like, well, what the fuck, you're not going to support me? Like, I campaigned with you. I'm the president of the party. The people that donated to you donated because they thought that I am going to be the runner-up. And so, like, she's utterly baffled. Like, she doesn't know what the fuck. And the other guy, Nico Jordan, goes like, no, I'm not associating with you guys. Go fuck yourselves. I mean, this is comedy gold. I have never seen something like this in politics in my entire fucking life. This is like, I don't even know what to say. I'm like, it's like how do you unpack this? Like, how do you... like, okay, so you're not even going to talk to the man before, like, endorsing him? You're not even going to ask him? It's like, okay, well, do you want us to endorse it? Or maybe, this actually happened behind the scene. He went yes, allowed them to do this in public, and then decided to stab them in the back. The greatest decadence happened in the 18th century England during the gin craze and the early industrial revolution and the Great Awakening, and Methodists brought social reforms, actually good ones. Yeah, but like, dude, I'm not that well versed in history. I know a little bit of history, but I don't know what the gin craze was. And I don't know what the Methodists were. So, I'm sorry. I wish I was that educated. I wish I knew. If you're talking about gin, the alcohol, isn't that like a woman's drink? Like, every single time I went to a party, like, the men either drink beer or booze, and the women want gin tonic. Which is fine. I actually prefer gin as well, despite the fact that I'm a man. See, like, this is the difference between a man and a pussy. Like, a man knows what he wants and doesn't fucking care about peer pressure. The weak man is like, well, I gotta go with the crowd. I'm going to get some beer that's called bitter. Like, why the fuck would you do that? It's in the fucking name. It's bitter. Why would you drink something that's bitter? Fuck is wrong with you? Like, I generally don't get it, right? And so, okay, if I like something else, and other people, like, will judge me because I like something else, I'm going to judge the other people, and I'm still going to drink whatever the fuck I like. It's not about the drink, it's about the principle. It's like, you get to stand up for yourself and impose yourself. That's what a man does. He dominates. He dominates his environment. Like at all time, you're imposing your will one gulp at a time as you're drinking the beverage that you're not supposed to because you have a cock. But you're like, fuck you, I'm going to drink this, and you're going to watch. And you're going to cope and seethe as I'm drinking. No, but like seriously, every single time I go to a party or whatever, like I prefer the cocktails. I like drinking something that tastes good, that's sweet, and makes you tipsy. Why the fuck would I drink something that's bitter? Like, am I retarded or some shit? Right? Like, that doesn't make any sense. What exactly do I have to prove? Like why would I... Huh? Like, I think I can prove my masculinity by fucking my wife. I think that's the way you show you're a guy, right? Impregnate a woman or something. Raise your kid properly. You know, like, those are manly things. But to go to a party and just, like, drink the same shit because everyone else is dumb enough and you're succumbing to peer pressure because, like, you're not supposed to drink what you like. No, I think that's retarded. I don't think that's a man. I think that's a wuss. The runner-up is second place. Yes. But I don't think she would become second place now that Nikushor is on. Like, they're treating him like his fucking Muad'Dib. I swear to fucking God, like the party is like they're the freeman, and Nikushor is the Muad'Dib. I can't drink like a man, so I go for the copium. But that's the thing. Like I used to drink bitter, and then one day I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this with my life? Why am I succumbing to this? And so, like, there are certain drinks that I just flat out refuse. Whiskey, for some reason, like, whiskey just makes me sick. Like, it makes me vomit. I don't know why. Like, the taste itself, I just don't like it. Beer that's bitter, that's another one. Like, I just don't like it. And then, no, I think, like, that's actually pretty much it. Like, these are just drinks that I would just flat out not touch. I'm not interested in them. Who do I think will win the elections? Well, it's too early to say. I don't even know who's going to get into the second term. I don't know, like... Are we even going to have an election? Huh? Like, are they going to cancel it again? It's difficult to say. Who's going to get censored? Like, this is another question. Like, which journalists are going to get censored next? I heard that Ion Cristoiu got banned from TikTok. And so, it's more of these questions. Like, who's going to get censored? That's interesting. I can't predict that. You know, there's no polls or statistics for that. Oh, there's another thing that I will never drink. Non-alcoholic beer. Like, non-alcoholic beer, I genuinely don't understand why it fucking exists. Like, which person in their right mind decided to create non-alcoholic beer? What's the purpose of it? It's just a liquid so you can take a piss. Literally, that's it, and it doesn't taste that good. Like, if you're at the level where you have to drink non-alcoholic beer, just drink soda. Like, just be normal. Just drink soda, drink sparkling water, right? Like, you're with your car, you can't drive, you just went to a club. And you're there with many men, and you drove them there, and you're the driver, so you can't drink, and you know, like, you don't order the non-alcoholic beer, because you're not mentally deficient. No, you're ordering the soda. Right? Like, just be normal. Or prove me wrong, and be like, no, V, I'll drink whatever the fuck I want, because I'm a man. I ordered a non-alcoholic beer. I'll still judge you, but, like, at least you get some respect points. Drink Diet Coke like your favorite president. Another thing. Jesus fucking Christ. Diet Coke. Unless you're diabetic and you just can't feel the taste of Coke, just stop fucking drinking it. Just stop fucking drinking it. Either drink like normal Coke or don't drink it at all. Who the fuck drinks Diet Coke? Look, it's okay. You know, you're on a diet. And you want to have the taste of Coke, just get one, right? Like, you're not going to die from it. You're not going to get 50 kilograms if like, once a week you get some Coke. What I was saying, V, was the religious social reformers also did good. Too much decadent indulgence can be destructive. You know, I'm starting to come to agreement that maybe the Eastern philosophy got it right. I'm starting to think that, maybe the fucking Asians managed to figure out stuff that we didn't. They believe in balance. And balance means like no excesses. And it means like based on context, based on the timing, you should have balance and maintain harmony. Like maybe there is something to that. Maybe, it's a rival philosophy with Christianity, right? I mean, it's an ideology that's coherent, creates order, doesn't create chaos, and maybe there are some points to it. I don't fucking know, but like the idea of balance and not giving into excesses. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. I think that's actually has some merit. You know who else believes in balance? Look up the golden mean. Balance means you can do extreme excesses as long as they're opposing. No, I'm pretty sure that's not what it means. Benjamin Nugan, ever cleared the bands to be drunk? Is that a drink? Benjamin Nugan? We don't have it in Romania. The Greeks figured it out 2,000 years ago. Well, they probably figured it out differently. They both came up to the conclusion at the same time, the Greeks and the Chinese. Although, like, the one with balance and harmony is more of a Japanese mythos. I'm actually trying to read a little bit about the Japanese mythology because I know Islam, I know Christianity, I know the Greek pantheon, I know the Norse. And now I'm like, all right, well, what do the Japanese believe? And it's actually pretty fucking interesting. But anyway, right. The Ottomans weren't that bad, actually, like, compared to the Russians. Christianity used to promote moderation. The Orthodox still do. It depends, like, which branch of Christianity. See, like, this is a problem with modernity. Like, we think Christianity is like an umbrella, but, like, there's different sects, or not necessarily sects, denominations. There's different denominations of Christianity. Some are cancer, some are not. I think the Orthodox are pretty fucking chill compared to the rest of Christianity. Then you have the worst, I would think, are some of the most rabid Protestants. Like usually the fanatical ones. And I said this in many streams, like why I think this is the case. Some of them have this thing called sola scriptura, which basically means that they interpret the world only through the Bible. And so the question is, well, who gets to interpret the Bible? And the answer is a pastor, right? So, like, it's not even someone that's trained in a university. Like, you have, like, a Catholic university or you have an Orthodox university, right? No. Like they literally just have, like, a pastor which has a congregation. And he is the one that interprets. And he doesn't take into account tradition. He doesn't take into account any type of ritual. What he does is he interprets the Bible from a modern perspective. And so the problem is that the whims and the desire of the pastor is going to influence the interpretation. And so, like, for instance, if you have a pastor that, let's say, like, his son gambles or whatever, well, all of a sudden, gambling is, like, the biggest sin. It's the worst thing ever. And then they can also interpret on popularity, right? Well, like, if there's no, like, strict code, like, for instance, all Orthodox churches are going to preach the same thing. All Catholic churches are going to preach the same thing. But if you have, like, the Protestants, well, they may preach what's trending. Like, literally, pretty much like, you have on social media, you know, what's popular now. And if now it's trending to pick on Pokemon and call anime satanic, they do it. If it's trending to pick on Dungeons and Dragons and say that's satanic, they do it. The problem by doing this is that they're being antagonistic, chicky little shits, and they're like atheists creating factories. When you're being hostile, you're going to be met with resentment and disgust. And it's okay if you create a couple of hostiles, but when you become like a factory of like mass producing hostility, you end up like Britain. Like, why do you think Britain is the way it is now? Like, they always complain, oh, another church got sold and like Muslims bought. Like, why do you think that is? It's because there's no Christians going to the fucking church. They kill Christianity. Who killed Christianity in Britain? The Christians. Like, there was no state suppression of Christianity, right? Like, they didn't go through communism that burned down churches or closed them down or shit like that. Like, no, people just stopped believing. So the question is, like, what got them to stop believing? And the answer is Christians. No one else to blame. And so, like, you gotta ask, well, why didn't this happen in Eastern Europe? Why didn't this happen in Poland? Why didn't it happen in Romania? Why it's not happening in other places? And the reason is because, well, Orthodox religion is pretty fucking chill. And they believe in tradition. And so, like, a priest that comes in and for instance, like, when he talks about sin, right? He's not going to go full on ham on drinking. Why? Because traditionally people drink. And so he's going to say, yeah, it's bad, you know, it's a sin. And he's going to shame you, but he's not shaming you actively. It's more like he's disappointed if you do it. I think that's the word I'm looking for, right? It's disappointment. Like he sees you drinking and he's disappointed. And so, like, most people stop drinking in order not to disappoint the priest. Because he's educated, he's well-versed, he went through an academy, right? And so, like, Orthodox do not have, like, this evangelical flair where they go out of their way in order to convert every single fucking moron that they see. You know, they go into a neighborhood and unless everyone thinks like me, unless everyone fasts, unless everyone doesn't work on Sunday, I can't feel myself comfortable. And so they have less enemies. The Orthodox mindset is that you're either born into it or people will come seeking it out. And it's pretty fucking chill, right? Meanwhile, in the UK, you had the Protestants that went ham on anyone that didn't think like them. And well, that's the fucking consequence. That's literally the fucking consequence. And you know, you can't blame anyone. Like, who are you going to blame? There's a church. No one goes there anymore, right? Like the Christians stop worshiping, so they don't show up. And then the church is in disrepair, and they have to sell because, like, they can't pay for the priest's salary. And then a hedge fund buys it, and it sells it to the Muslims, and it's turned into a mosque. Like, who's to blame in this? Well, the Christians don't go there, right? Like, that's the issue. Is the chill churches that are dying out and the full one hams are doing well best in UK? Yeah, because it's a Protestant mindset, right? Like, being ham does increase attendance, but it causes resentment on the long run. I mean, going ham back in the day did increase attendance, which is why they did it. And so, like, you have attendance now, but, like, the next generation is going to despise you. It is what it is. You know, they're going to fuck around and find out. I don't think, like, Christianity will go away, but I think they need to calm down. I think they need to find a way to get balance again and harmony. Because you can't have a religion that's, like, in a perpetual state of conflict. No matter what you do, vulgarity to rant about Christianity. Did I rant about Islam as well? I rant about Judaism. I rant about a lot of shit. I rant about Christianity because it's fucking important. If it wasn't important, then I wouldn't rant about it. So, like, you know, feel invalidated. Go like, well, at least V thinks it's important. And I fucking do. And not to mention, I even promoted orthodoxy. Huh? You don't care? Oh, let me guess, you're not an Orthodox, so you're coping and seething. You're a Protestant, aren't you? Well, it's not my fault you're born a heretic. You know, cry me a fucking river. Just convert and be normal. Find a nice Orthodox church. Let me fucking guess. You know, like, can you actually check? Look it up. Are there any Orthodox churches in UK that converted into a mosque? I'm literally curious about this. Like seriously, no, I genuinely don't know, and I want to find out. Like, any of you, please tell me. Is there a single Orthodox church in the UK? Because there must be some, right? Is there a single one that remained without attendance and had to be converted into a mosque? Genuine question. What religion do you have, Nightmare? I'm going to start ranting about it. Assuming that I know. Like, if you're into some fringe shit, I may actually not know and then I can't run. Look, I'll just say this. Everything that exists without my knowledge exists without my consent. So if I don't know about it, I probably think it's bad. Orthodox is kind of gay, to be honest. All that gold and glitter, fancy clothes. What? Like, Orthodoxy doesn't have gold? Dude, have you looked at the Catholics? What the fuck? Like, look at the Catholic Church. That's like inviting a schism. It's fucking begging for, like, schisms and heresies. It's like, how are these people men of God and they're, like, richer than BlackRock? Orthodoxy is about iconography. It's about art. You don't seduce people with gold. You seduce them with icons of saints and shit. A Hindu. Well, there you fucking go. I don't know much about them. And so I can't really talk shit. Ah, see what I did there? Ah! Holy shit, I'm not going to get donations from Nightmare anymore. Ah. I'm sorry, Nightmare. I'm sorry. I take it back. Fucking taking it back. What do you mean art is gay? Look, there are 3 things that a religion needs to fulfill if it wants to be successful. Number 1, it's to answer what comes after death. Like, literally, every single religion allegedly knows this. Like, what happens after you die? That's the first thing that a religion is to do. The second thing is the sense of community. So it needs to create a sense of belonging and community. And the third one is the aesthetics, right? So this is like the 3 reasons that people join a religion. Number 1, you tell them what happens after death and people get interested. Number 2, how do the people that follow the religion behave? Are they decent people? Are they good people? Will they stab me if I don't join? You know, like that. Those are the things that get people to follow your religion. And the third one is the aesthetics. Like, people may actually follow a religion simply because it looks really fucking right. Like, when they go to church, they feel tranquil, right? Like, they feel the serenity. They feel nice. And so, because of that, they're persuaded in joining it. V, I thought after the incident with the Australian getting plunged and the statistics on the theft from the church roofs, you weren't going to talk about the UK? Dude, I don't even... from my position, the United Kingdom is the clown world of world politics. And after that is probably Australia. Like, after I seen them behave during the pandemic, I don't have any more expectations. Like, seriously, I'm literally waiting now for, you know, like the most batshit laws imaginable to come out of the UK. Like there's just nothing. There is absolutely nothing that the UK politicians can do to surprise me now. Like, they can even make a law that you need, if you don't bark like a dog 5 times when the Royal Guard walks past you, you go to prison. And I'll be like, I mean, it's UK, right? Of course they do that. If you don't howl like a donkey, then they arrest you. I'm like, well, I mean, it's UK, right? No, Germany is... Hello, Rosalhim. Germany is not the worst. Like, at least I know what the Germans are, right? Like, the Germans are pretty much like, I know what's good for me, and if it's good for me, it's good for everyone else. And everyone else needs to think like me, because if they don't think like me, they need to be forced, right? So, like, I'm going to force my neighbor to think correctly, because it's for their own good. And so, like, that's pretty much Germany. I know what to expect, right? Like, I can predict Germany. I can't predict the United Kingdom. I simply fucking can't. It's insane. It's like, no. Their politics are really weird and bizarre. All Western Commonwealth countries jumped the shark. Yeah, it's true, but like I think, dude, no country had. They literally called it Project Fear. Like, hold on, let me show you some of the things they did. It's like, hold on, no, UK Project Fear. I mean, no country decided to terrorize its citizens as the UK did. Like, I remember like watching some of their posters, and I was like, this is not going to age well. All right, look at this shit. Like, tell me if Germany did this, right? Because, like, someone brought up Germany, and they were like, well, V, what about Germany? Germany didn't do this. Again, like, this was government-funded, right? Like, by the NHS. Look him in the eyes and tell him you always keep a safe distance. Look her in the eyes and tell her you never bend the rules. Look him in the eyes and tell him the risk isn't real. And they're like, oh, BLM protests. My civic rights. Go, 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 go. You know, no more looking in the eyes. Ukraine. Oh, goodness gracious. To war. It's like, and now they're freaking out about tariffs. Now they care about the economy. Dude, it's a clown world. You like okay, just so you can understand. Right? Maybe I'm not articulating. Look at this. Look how big it was. Look how big, in case you think you'd miss it. Right? So no, UK, I would say number 2. Australia number 1. Like, Australia banned people from the parliament, if they weren't vaccinated, to go in and represent their constituents. That is fucking insane. Like, the fact that the international community didn't say that. I don't think even China did that. I don't know about North Korea because they're not reporting that shit. But I don't think even China did that. To like, okay, you have like public representatives, right? Like people that got voted in. They are not allowed to vote because they didn't get the Fauci ouchie. Like, dude, that's insane. No other country on earth did that shit. So yeah, I would say, like, when it comes to the clown world of the international community, if you look at the pandemic as a nice benchmark, UK probably number 2, Australia number 1. They had like fucking camps. They had fucking camps for people and they were building more. I feel like they were really pissed off when Putin invaded Ukraine and everyone was dropping. They're like, oh shit, we invested money into this. What do we do now? So yeah, we got Australia, we got the UK. What else do we have? To be fair, like, my country was also pretty messed up. Like, they declared martial law, which was declared unconstitutional. We had the military on the street. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? This is not going to age well. You know, like, in the future, people will remember what you did. They're not going to trust you. And the next elections did show that. Like, people think you're a joke. Like at this point, like the problem, you know, when you do something like this, let's say you get an extremist that's running for office. And people go like, oh my goodness, he's a fascist. And it's like, oh, well, what is he going to do? Is he going to lock me in my house? Is he going to ask me for papers if I want to sit at the McDonald's? Is he going to shut down my business? Is he going to deploy the military? Oh no, you guys did that. You guys fucking did that. So what do you guys hate? You hate that guy? I'll fucking vote for him if you hate him. Just like I suffered, now you need to suffer. If I don't send you many super chats for a while, it's not because of anything you said, but because I'm being laid off. Is that? I'm sorry to hear that. What was your job? Like, maybe it's something that we can find you an employer. Is like, if you're into drawing or modeling or shit. A lot of UK churches closed because of Romanians stealing lead from their roofs. There is receipts for that. A lot of knife crime isn't committed by British people. Then, okay, explain to me the logic. Why is it that in Romania we don't close down churches despite having more Romanians than Britain? You're telling me that in a nation with the highest CCTV camera per square, you're not capable to find out who steals the copper from your church roof. I'm not saying it's not happening, but like, what the fuck are your authorities doing? Like, what is the community doing? Well, those Christians, right? Like assuming there's a congregation in that church, like, are they incapable of finding out to stealing the copper in order to apply punishment? Don't give me copium. Don't be like, oh my goodness, well, like no other country on earth has this problem. Oh, they stole the... Well, it's because you don't respect them, that's why. Do you think like Romanians would be able to do that to a mosque? Why don't they do that to mosques? Like, the Britain has mosques. Why don't they steal shit from the mosque's roof? Oh, because there would be repercussions, I see. Well, whose fault is it then? Christopher Kitting, France literally spent months passing a law to force anyone using public services to have the job. It went into effect a week before the invasion. They pretended COVID was all cured, thanks to Putin. Yeah, but like, again, almost every nation on earth went schizophrenic during the pandemic. But you need to apply context, right? So in a context where every nation went schizophrenic, you have to wonder, which were the nations that went really batshit haywire? And out of all of them, I mean, I think India went a little batshit, but like, that was hilarious. That was funny. They had police officers with sticks beating up people on the street. So like, if you broke quarantine, you had like the police officer with the stick and he would beat you. And there were like videos on that on TikTok. At least that was hilarious. You know, it was like, okay, well. But they didn't have like Project Fear, right? And they didn't ban people that were in parliament from going in to vote for legislation. Like, that's a little bit different. There weren't that many mosques 30 years ago. Dude, even if they were, I guarantee to you, like, if there were fewer churches and it was like mosques everywhere, I guarantee to you nothing would get stolen from mosques. Because the authorities protect the mosque. Well, if the authorities were Christian, I guarantee to you they would protect the churches. But again, like you look at the number of atheists in Britain, and like atheists would vote for people that aren't Christians. It's not rocket science, not that fucking hard. Like how a church can't afford to get a new roof, then goes bust, then it gets sold for cheap, then it's converted. Yeah, like if you would have had like a congregation, they would be able to afford to get a new roof. And obviously, you know, like, give me a break. This idea that, oh, churches don't have roofs, so fucking copium. In the Ottoman Empire, Christianity was tolerated. So yeah, this is actually an interesting thing, but like in history, the Ottoman Empire had entire neighborhoods which had churches. But they were tolerated, but they were also oppressed. Which is normal, by the way, in most empires. Like, you're trying to persuade people, like, come on, just be normal. You know, just convert. But one of the rules was that you're not allowed to rebuild the church unless you actually prove that it's becoming a hazard, right? And do you think like a hole in the roof stop people from joining or stop people from... No. They even like banned them from ringing church bells. Like the rules were like this. You weren't allowed to have churches, but they had to be... So first of all, you had to pay a tax. You had to pay the jizya. Secondly, you had to always practice with closed doors. So like the honorable Muslim citizen doesn't get to see the degeneracy that's in your church. And you weren't allowed to ring church bells because, again, like, you don't want to disturb the honorable Muslim citizen. And so what they did is they invented the tuaca. Like, the tuaca is an Orthodox tradition where instead of church bells, they have a plaque of wood and they sing on it. It's pretty cool. But that's how it came to be. And despite all that, people still went to church. Like, stop it with the copium. Like, if you unironically believe in God, right? Like, let me put it this way. beyond a shadow of a doubt, you believe there's a creator. Not figuratively, not metaphorically, but like he actually exists. Like there's this omnipresent entity in the sky, and you believe in that, you're going to go to fucking church even if there's a hole in it, alright? Like, let's be honest. The problem that Britain has is that people don't believe. And if you don't believe in God, you know, even if you believe in the ideology of the church, even if you believe in the aesthetics or whatever the fuck, you're not going to go if there's a hole in the roof. Anyway, authorities will always side with the side that will do widespread violence over the ones that don't. Terrorism, unfortunately, works. Not all nations think like this, no. No, if you dial it back before the founding of Israel, especially Britain, like there were Muslim terrorist attacks. There was Israeli terrorist attacks because like the Palestine was under British occupation and shit. They didn't change their mind because of violence, no. I mean, look at Trump right now. Do you see Antifa kicking up shit anymore? Do you think, like, if there was violence, all of a sudden Trump would back down? Like, no. There are people here attending church outdoor because we have no budget to build a church yet. Stop the cope. See? See? Look, I'm not a Christian, but at least I understand humanity. Like, I understand how religion and faith works. You can't tell me, oh, there's a hole in the roof. Okay, well, in the Roman Empire, where Christians were persecuted, like, they would find some basement to pray in. Like, please, stop with the cope. Even now, like, there are other places on earth where Christianity is being persecuted. And they still manage to gather and pray. They lost their USAID funding? I don't think, like, USAID was internal, was it? I mean, it may have been, but I think, like, USAID was for external things. BMAC, thank you for the 50 memberships. Holy shit. A lot of them. That's a lot. 50. Goodness gracious. The same reason I got into it when I was younger. Karens use Christianity to morally grandstand. No, I agree, you know, but then you realize that Karens will gravitate to whatever ideology is popular. And so you can have a Karen that used to be like pro-Christian and now is pro-woke. I still can't get past the fact that I got 50 memberships. Jesus. Thanks a lot. Holy shit. The chat has been vanquished. Anyway. I'm actually looking at the history of like why did Christians got persecuted in Japan? Like the Jesuit missionaries. Because it's like really weird. Because, you know, like you would think based on Japanese culture that they're pretty tolerant. Basically, like Japan's religion is compatible with a lot of religions. Like you can have the Greek pantheon and the Japanese religion as well. Because like the Japanese have more of a philosophy than an actual religion. They basically believe that there are many gods in the sky, that they can call them spirits. And so if you go to Japan as a Greek and you're like believing in the Greek pantheon, or you go there as a person that's a Norse and you believe in the Nordic pantheon, like that's no problem for Japan because they're like, well, this is just like, it's just another religion, right? There's more gods, like that's fine. The problem with the Christians, and this is like one of the main reasons why they get persecuted almost everywhere in history. Like here is wisdom, okay? The Christians believe in objective morality. And the objective morality basically means I'm right, you're wrong, shut the fuck up. I'm going to save you even if you want to or not. Right? Like your way is wrong. If it's not Christian, it's wrong. Period. There's nothing else. Like we hold the ultimate truth. We have the ultimate knowledge. Anything else, we're not even going to listen to it, is wrong. And so when they go to Japan, initially they received a lot of success. Because again, like Japanese people, they see the Christians, they're like dressed nicely, they speak Latin, they have books, they're well educated. Japanese people like that shit. And so they got a lot of converts. But the problem with the Christian God is that he's a jealous God. Doesn't like other gods. And so the Christian converts demanded that other Japanese people renounce their gods. And demanded that other Japanese people don't believe that the emperor is divine. In other words, they're being subversive chicken little shits. They're destabilizing the state. And it ended with blood. Because the Jesuits couldn't really answer, like, why are you telling my child to disrespect the gods that his father gave him? Why are you telling my child to disrespect his ancestors? Fuck is wrong with you? And it's kind of difficult to talk to a father that's fuming that his child went to school and is now coming against the gods of his family, causing dissent in the household. The entire Japanese way is about maintaining harmony. And so now you have like the kids coming up and telling, "No, Dad, you're wrong, and Jesus is the best. Your ideology is shit, Dad. Fuck you." And the dad goes, "Who told you that?" "Well, the Jesuit did." "Oh, well, I'm going to have a word with them." And so you have like many fathers going up and having a very impolite conversation. They also talk to the emperor. It's like, look what these chicken little shits are doing. And all of a sudden, the Christians like, "Oh, we're getting persecuted. Oh, no, we're getting persecuted. Well, whose fault is it?" To be fair, like all the Abrahamic religions would, but probably the Jews wouldn't get persecuted because like they're not trying to evangelize. Like they would just form a community, like an enclave, and then not go to the Japanese child. It's like, "Well, you need to stop listening to the gods that your father gave you because he is wrong and we're right, and you know we have objective morality." Ha ha ha. In other words, if you're not with us, you're immoral. I was like, well. They may be immoral, but they kicked your ass off the fucking island. Yeah. They were being oppressed. This is why, like, Japan is so fucking interesting now. Like, they're not Christians, but they have Christmas. Did you notice that shit? They're not Christians, but they still marry in a church. Because, like, they literally, like, for them, it's not really important what you believe. What's important for them is the philosophy. And the philosophy is, are you a troublemaker? Are you causing problems in society? Do you disrespect your elders? Do you break harmony? Do you go in a place and you're a loudmouth? Do you do things just to piss other people off, right? Like if the answer is yes to any of them, that's when they dislike you. Other than that, they don't give a fuck. They don't care who you worship. They don't care what you believe in. They don't care what you think, as long as you don't upset other people, right? How do you do that? Well, the Japanese still tell you how. It's an entire philosophy. Yeah, well, you know, Jesus is king, and the Japanese told, well, then go to his kingdom. Like, fuck off from our island and go see his kingdom. If Jesus is king, go to his kingdom. You're not welcome here anymore. Well, they're very polite until they're not. You know, like, one of the biggest offenses in Japanese culture is to assume politeness for weakness. Like, they're very polite, and the one thing that you can do to offend them a lot is to assume that their politeness is actual weakness. Because when they realize you're doing that, that's when they hate you. And I guess like what's happening to Johnny Somali is a little bit of that Asian mentality. You know, like he got his chance with the Japanese, they didn't bother with him, but now he's in South Korea. And you know, there is another saying, which is pretty much Japanese are polite to a fault, but South Koreans are polite to a point. The American missionaries use chicken because turkey is rare, so KFC capitalized on that to convince the Japanese American Christmas is KFC. That's actually like the best way to proselytize. Not with the stick, not with nagging, not No, well, like, genuinely show them that your way is better. You have chicken, they fucking don't. That's it. That's the finality of the answer. You want chicken? You listen to the gospel. That's a lot better of proselytizing. Like, oh my god, when we got the objective morality, you just don't fucking know it. You're barbarians. Yeah. Vitally is going to be in jail for a long time, even just waiting for trials. I haven't read anything about Vitally though. Like, I'm already hypnotized by Johnny Somali and his infinite wisdom. Johnny Somali is making me believe in objective immorality. Like, unironically, he's creating a new school of thought. Like, I don't know if objective morality exists, but I do think that objective immorality exists, and that's what Johnny Somali is doing. Like, the stick was very effective for Islam. Yeah, but like, their entire ideology is actually built around the stick. Like, that's the advantage of Muslims, right? Christianity is not built for the stick. Like, there's nowhere in the Bible where Jesus goes ham because people don't believe his teachings. Like, I never got that part. You know, like Jesus did not create a bureaucracy in order to enforce the teachings. Like for me, when I read the Bible, it was more like a personal thing, right? Like a self-improvement. But anyway, right, neither here nor there. Islam, on the other hand, is built around the bureaucracy, is built around the machine that enforces the stick. And so if you have a religion that's like literally created for that very purpose, then you're going to get a much more effective stick. Although even then, you know, you then reach a society that's capable of withstanding you, like for instance, Europe, and they just kick your shit in. And then you also get persecuted. And they're like, oh, why am I getting persecuted? Why are we getting persecuted? Well, because you're a troublemaker. See, this is why Japanese people outside of World War II don't get persecuted when they go in other places. Or even like the Chinese, they don't get persecuted. Sure, you know, like they may get like a couple of snide remarks and they may get a little bit of racism when they go in Asia. But like if they come to a European country, no one gives a fuck. Because like their entire thing is about harmony. So, it is what it is. Jesus didn't start the church. Yeah. Well, you know, like the thing with Jesus and the tables, he didn't flip the tables because the merchants didn't believe. He flipped the tables because the merchants were operating unsanctioned in a place where they didn't belong. Right? Like they were selling stuff inside the church. That's what pissed him off. Like if they were selling their stuff outside the church, he wouldn't give a shit. It's just like unsanctioned use of merchandise privilege. They had no license basically. Like his dad didn't give them a license. I'm not a Christian. I always felt bad for Jesus. Well, the problem is like he was destabilizing. He violated a lot of TOS. Like they just made TOS for him to make him the violator, right? So like he was destabilizing powers that were established. And so like if you destabilize established powers, you're going to get pushback. If Jesus existed now, he would get debanked and banned from social media. But back then, you would get crucified, right? Because they didn't have like the ability to summon MasterCard in order to debank Jesus. It's another thing, you know, like he did say, sell your cloak and buy a sword. Like, oh, come on. You know, like one quote in the whole fucking Bible. Now let's look at the Quran, right? Let's do it like this. Let's say in the Quran, like how many times Muhammad, blessed be his name, has explained to people what to do with the non-believers, and how many times Jesus told people to buy a cloak. Let's do that. You know, can we do that? Like you guys find an example in the Bible where Jesus talks about self-defense or any type of aggression, And we go and we see if we can find one from the Quran. Let's see who runs out of quotes first. And ironically, like Christianity, and this is like one of the biggest criticisms that it had in the Roman Empire, is that it's too weak as a religion. It's too pacifistic. It's a religion that, again, like in my opinion, it's more like a philosophical thing for the soul. But it is what it is, you know. Yeah, he wasn't a warlord. I never said he was. The Old Testament. Like in the Old Testament, oh my goodness. Like God is actually a military strategist. Tells people to blow horns, to make walls downfall around the city of Jericho. They talk about subverting the city first, you know, running hybrid warfare operations by getting some whore from the city to open the gates. Like God in the Old Testament was running what is it called? Yeah, it's like hybrid warfare, right? Where you hack into the enemy city. Yeah, they hacked into the enemy gate by seducing some whore and getting her. And I'm not kidding. That's what the Bible calls her, a woman of low moral fiber, as in like her profession was to sleep with other men. And so like they convinced her to open the city. So like they hacked the city gates in order to enter. We must convert to corn to resist Islam. Guerrilla warfare? Let me think if that was in the Bible. I mean, you got Samson, but I don't know if it counts. Like Samson did perform asymmetric warfare. Well, actually, no. To be fair, like Samson was like a tactical nuke. Like once he came into play, none of the enemies that wanted to attack. He was like a nuclear fucking deterrent. Bipedal species. As a 48-year-old Scottish Christian Protestant, I have no idea what you're talking about. We are taught God is everywhere. No divine being responsibility. Okay, so as a 48-year-old Scottish Christian Protestant, I have no idea what you're talking about. We are taught God is everywhere. I never said that Christians don't believe God is everywhere. I'm saying that belief system is incompatible if you go into another nation to proselytize, right? So like imagine you, bipedal species, and your family are going to Japan in order to force the Japanese people to believe in your religion, right? Like you're going there to convert. And so you're going there with your family and maybe a couple of other priests, and you start an enclave. And you start converting people, and you're telling them that God is everywhere, you know, and you're telling them that there's only one God. And in the beginning, you're successful. In the beginning, you're getting a lot of converts. Like, a lot of people are going to join your religion, and you're very successful at your job at proselytizing. But at one point, your converts are going to use the teachings in the Bible, like God is everywhere, and other Japanese people will be like, well, okay, you know, like their God is just more powerful. Like, that's fine. But they will say, no. There's only one God, right? So no kami, no inari, no kitsunes, none of that shit. There's only one God. And if you don't believe in God, then your soul is going to enter damnation. Well, now you're causing strife. You're incompatible with the culture that promotes harmony, right? So like the culture would allow you and your family to go there as long as you keep it to yourself. Like if you don't spread the gospel and you just keep it to your family, that's fine. But the moment you start preaching and the moment it starts to spread, that's when the shogun sends his men to have a serious conversation with you and tell you where Europe is and to get the fuck out. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm talking about history, basically. I'm talking about what happened with the initial Christians that tried to convert the Japanese. It's up to you. I never got Christian until I was 12. We wouldn't do that. Well, not you personally, but the Christian world did that. They sent emissaries to Japan in order to convert. And I was curious, like, how the fuck did they manage to end up getting killed when Japan has a philosophy that tolerates other religions? And then I read it and I found out. It's because the doctrine that believes there's only one God, right? So like in the Bible, it basically says it's not that God is more powerful than other gods. No, it's like there is one God. That's it. Period. There's no one else. So it's either God or Satan, right? So like if some people are performing any other type of ritual, then well, actually, okay, the Christian religion views the world in three separate sects. You have the people of the book, which are the Jews, the Muslims, and the Christians, and all their denominations. And then you have the heretics. Now, the heretics are various Christian cults, like, for instance, the Cathars. I think they even had a crusade dedicated against them. The Mormons, the Church of the Many Saints, whatever they're called, right? So, like, these are the heretics. Like, for some reason, they deny something that's crucial. Either they deny the Trinity, they deny the Holy Spirit. They have like different interpretation of the Bible that are considered to be too extreme to be allowed into the realm of the people of the book, right? The Protestants aren't heretics, for instance, right? So you have like the Catholic, the Orthodox, the Protestants, like various other sects that are considered approved by the church. The heretics are the ones that are disapproved, and then you have the pagans. So like the pagans is literally everything else, like everything that's not people of the books or like offshoots of Christianity. So you have like the Hindus, the Japanese, the Norse, like literally everything else is considered pagan. And then you also have the people that are considered to be, how did the Inquisition classify them? Not absolute ignorance. I think it's like indomitable ignorance or invincible ignorance, right? So invincible ignorance are people that are in certain regions of the world. They don't exist today. But like if you were in a certain region of the world, like the Americas, right? And you have like the conquistadors, and they're in the United States, and they find you and you're a pagan. Maybe you're doing human sacrifices, who the fuck knows? But you're basically saying, I never heard of Jesus. They're not going to consider you sinful. They're going to consider you like a special group. Like, they're basically going to start proselytizing to you, right? And if you accept what they're saying, it depends how they're going to treat you. We are using fields to determine religion. Religion is determined by three things. Number one, it's the philosophy that it spreads. People can be attracted to that. Like, some people can listen to a philosophy and genuinely like feel attraction, right? So like this is how you convert people, and how groups of minorities of a religion gets to be formed. Like, for instance, in America, you have the Nation of Islam. So the Nation of Islam forms in America not because you have like Muslims preaching Islam, but it's because black people heard about Islam and they went like, okay, so this is like a Christian religion, but it's not the religion of our masters. And it was like built around the slave identity, right? So like the reason it's formed is because like the slaves would listen to the arguments and they're persuaded. Like, they genuinely think that what the priest flaps his mouth and talks is actually better than what the Christians are saying. The second thing is how the people from that religion behave. So, do they behave like decent people? Do they behave in a way that you would want to emulate? Right? Do they help each other? Are they chill? Do they stab you? Do they stab you if you don't believe? That's also an argument. Right? Like the behavior of the people in that religion. So the first is what they're saying, the second is how they're behaving, and the third is the aesthetics. Now, the aesthetics themselves, they're not necessarily as powerful as they used to be, but if you enter a cathedral and you feel like a massive sense of awe, and you're feeling as if, you know, like their ritual, their traditions, like everything they're doing, it's making you feel as if you're closer to divinity, then it can persuade people. Right. So like your question, like we're judging religion based on feels. No, you're judging it based on how the people from that religion act. Because if the religion is genuinely good and kind, then people aren't going to act like psychopaths. Or if you're scared shitless because the people are acting like psychopaths, you may also convert. The philosophical message, if it resonates to you or not, if it sounds good, if it has like consistency, if it doesn't contradict itself, right? And the third is the aesthetic. Now this is why woke ideology failed. I still believe that woke ideology can be treated as a religion, but like let's analyze it, right? Why did people believe in woke ideology? Well, some were persuaded by the message, right? Like some genuinely were persuaded by the message of social justice. They thought that it's a message of kindness, empathy, whatever the fuck, you know, they're against racism, they're against patriarchy, they're against sexism, blah, 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 blah. There are individuals out there that were persuaded by the message, or they went to academia, they listened, they were persuaded by that. Second thing, how do their people act? Unhinged fucking psychopaths. So like a lot of people were afraid of the woke ideology and paid lip service and joined it so that they don't get fired, so that they don't get out of a job, so that they don't get criticized by the community, right? Is it internally consistent? Fuck no. There's a lot of inconsistency. And so like the only reason that people joined the woke ideology is like, number one, they resonated with the message. Number two, they had really good PR in the beginning. But as the religion goes on and you have like the cracks showing, well, actually, the message is shit. It's filled with inconsistencies. They reject all beauty. Like there's no awe, there's no wonderful things that the woke ideology has done. There's nothing there. And the members are unhinged psychopaths. Well, that's why it's in decline. It doesn't fulfill any of the three functions. They don't have anything like faith. You don't need faith to have a stable religion. Again, you can like look at Islam, for instance, right? Islam has dominated through stabby. Like they went into Middle East. There were entire Christian nations that got overturned by Islam, right? And so, why do people remain Muslims? Well, it's not just the it's not just like the fact that they use violence in order to conquer, but they actually build stuff, right? Like there are mosques that actually do look impressive. You know, they're singing, they're calling to the fast. They're called to prayer. Like all of that is actually pleasant to behold. It causes awe. You know, and then is the message, the philosophy. It is still a philosophy of unity. Like if you live in a Muslim nation and you follow the Ramadan and all of that, like it teaches you discipline. It teaches you to not indulge. It tries to bring some level of harmony and balance. And then there's the stick, right? Like what happens if you leave? And so like it still provides something more than the woke. Like it's still more consistent than the woke. What about Southeast Asia? I don't fucking know. Look at Scientology. No faith, 100% grifting. Scientology actually serves the things, right? So like the first thing is the message. The message with Scientology, like they don't recruit you and they say, oh, let me tell you about Zeno. Scientology has like many ways of recruitment. The name itself, Scientology, it makes it sound like it's scientific. And so like it's closer to the truth. And they can recruit you in various ways. It doesn't even have to be with thetans. They recruit you with, for example, a business seminar, like how to improve your business, or how you can be more stern to people, etc., etc. Self-improvement courses, right? They also have like measuring thetan levels or whatever, but like the message is compelling enough for people to get interested. And so you go there because you're following a self-improvement course. You're not actually going there because you want to join a religion. Like most people don't even know it's a religion. They do now because like Scientology was in the spotlight and many people discussed it and there were documentaries. But at its peak, most people had no fucking idea, and so they joined it. And then you have to pay money for it, right? And now you have the sunken cost fallacy. It's like, I paid this much. I'm not going to back up now because I already invested in it. So you have the sunken cost fallacy. You have the members, which are very aggressive. Like, they're actually told how to be aggressive, right? Like, if you saw a Scientologist attack a suppressive person, like you'll see what I'm talking about, right? Like, you can have a calm lady that becomes insanely aggressive towards the other person. That they're trained how to do that. They're actually brought in a room and there's like an ashtray, and they will say, "Imagine that the ashtray is a person. I want you to scream at them, shout at them," right? So like they're training for that. The group itself has a lot of funding, and they hire detectives and they hire lawyers, and they're very litigious. But another reason why people stay is that once you join, they have usually like a confession where you're supposed to tell your sins. You're supposed to tell what you did wrong, and then they write it down and they hold that against you as blackmail, right? So again, like, why do people join? Well, they join because of the message. They also join because of the awe. They don't build cathedrals, but like they have famous actors. They have famous celebrities, famous people, and so you're in awe. It's like, wow, well, this ideology managed to persuade all these people. Surely there must be something with it, right? And then the people themselves, as when you join, they're very friendly, right? Like they seem like a nice community. They fake it, and so that's why people join Scientology. Scream at an ashtray. Well, screaming at an ashtray is like do you know how the military does drills where they have like a straw man and you have to like stab the straw man with a bayonet? Like, why do they do that, right? Like, you gotta stab a straw man with a bayonet while a drill sergeant screams at you. Well, the reason you do that is to develop muscle memory, so that when you're in the actual trench and you see another human being, you don't hesitate. You view them as the straw man, right? That's the same thing with the ashtray. Like, you take an object in a room and you scream at it so that when you're faced with an actual person in real life, you don't view them as a person anymore. You view them as an object. You view them as the training dummy. That's what it's called, a training dummy. Right? So it's actually, no, it's very psychological. Like, it's not out of the blue, made for no reason. It's definitely well thought out on how to manipulate people. Scream, stand up and pick up the ashtray. Scream, sit down and put down the ashtray. Not a single mosque look good enough compared to a random cathedral. They're not supposed to like look better than a cathedral, but like if you're a person entering like a grand mosque for the first time and you hear like the song and you see everyone in the discipline just like bowing at the same time and starting to pray at the same time, that's enough to feel the mysticism of the place. Like that's enough to generate awe. You don't need a lot to generate awe. And again, like, the building itself doesn't need to generate awe. But like, if you join a place where everyone bows down militarily and they start worshiping, and you have like a religious song that resonates, that's enough to generate a lot of people getting impressed. You don't necessarily need like the monastery and the thing, right? And some of the mosques, they actually do look good. Like, what are you talking about? Especially from the exterior. Like, there are mosques that look great. Again, like obviously it's subjective. You don't like it, you don't like it. Huh? And by the way, I'm not disagreeing. Like, I think Orthodox churches do look more impressive. But you don't necessarily need to compete on that level. Like there's a level of sufficiency where it's good enough, Ever since I was a kid, the bowing all was creepy. Well, some people see creepiness, other people see order. Other people see Discipline. If there was no appeal to Islam, people would not be attracted. Yeah, exactly. Discipline is equal to mysticism to you? What are you on? No, it's the song. The song is the mysticism. And the religious ceremony as well. And it's also the place, you know, like everyone is bowing down to what appears to be a higher power. I think like out of all the religions, Orthodoxy does the mysticism the best. The incense. Like the incense and the sounds that the priest is making with that thing that spreads the incense. I don't know like the name of it in English. I think like that's that's a lot more powerful than anyone else does. With Islam is the call to prayer. That's the mysticism. And by the way, I was talking about awe, right? Like discipline creates awe. If you see 100 people kneeling at the same time and praying at the same time, yeah, that creates awe. Like, don't tell me you're a medieval person and you're walking in a city and then all of a sudden everyone just drops down and they start praying. Like, don't tell me that doesn't make you feel a little bit of awe. Did you hear about libs complaining about sex bots because the man can't get a real woman to consent, so they use the machine that can't consent to use? Well, isn't this like the same argument that they used back then? Is that drawings can't consent? Which, again, to me, it's mind-baffling when you think about the dildo industry. Like, what is the dildo industry, right? And who buys dildos? Like, first of all, it's an industry because people buy it, right? Like, if people didn't buy dildos, they wouldn't exist. No one would sell them. You unless you'd order, right? Like, if you have like push to order dildo, right? Like then it would. But no, like dildos exist because women buy them en masse. You can say, well, what about homosexuals? Okay, I'm sure they're also a percentage of the market. But the reality is that dildos exist because a lot of women buy them. Now, I don't want to hear women bitch about sex bots and sex dolls when they're the biggest degenerates in the sex industry. An entire fucking sex toy. And not to mention, like, the dildo was actually invented by a psychologist for women because it treated hysteria. I'm not even kidding. Look it up. Right? So, like, irrational women were used to be diagnosed as hysterical. Hyster comes from uterus, right? It's the Latin definition. And so, they created the dildo. Dude, I'm not fucking kidding. Like, this is historical shit. Look it up. They created the dildo for women that were irrational. And it's like, this is here. Right? Like, just... And so, that's how the dildo industry exploded. Now, what is a dildo? It's literally the genital organ of a man. It's not even like... At least a sex doll still has, like, the woman, right? It's not just the vagina. It still has, like, the woman there. At least, right? The same with the sex bot. At least it tries to mimic a woman. The dildo is literally just the penis. So don't fucking talk to me about sexualization and demeaning the other gender when you're into that degenerate shit. And when you look at the statistics, 80%, that was like last time I checked. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but it was 80% of women in the America used or have used the dildo. In other words, when someone tells you about sexualization, you should start talking about their mother and why their mother is using sex toys. It's like, I don't even get it. It's like, dude, just shut the fuck up. What did the doctor say? Smoke a cigarette and go fuck yourself. Well, pretty much, yeah. Psychology used to be a bunch of people performing a single movement as the single time is not impressive. Okay, well, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my analysis is wrong. Why do you think that people find Islam impressive then? Because it's like the second largest religion on earth. So I'm genuinely curious now, like, put yourself into the shoes of a Muslim. What do you find particularly appealing to that religion? And if you tell me that, no, there's just nothing, like, surely you haven't thought about it enough. Now, I personally did ask Muslims, And I asked them, like, what do you find cool? And they literally told me this. It's like when they hear the call to prayer song, it's uplifting, they said. And they also said that they felt awe when they went into a mosque for the first time and they saw everyone kneeling. But, you know, maybe they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So, you know, if you have, like, a better opinion, I'm willing to listen. Yeah, usually, you know, like, if you watch The Marines, I mean, this is not religious, but, like, there is a thing called the Silent Marines. They have, like, these military ceremonies where they pass the gun, they spin the weapon, they you know, like, very synchronized movements. That causes awe. Like, that is impressive. And so, like, synchronicity and order and discipline is impressive. Like, this is why you have military parades. What is a military parade? You have the soldiers moving in the same direction. Now, I understand if you don't find it impressive. Like, that's fine, you know? But, like, generally speaking, if you look at the average person, I think, like, 2 out of 3 people, they find synchronicity to be impressive. Anyway, I'm going to leave now. It's already past my bedtime, although I still need to upload 2 more videos. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.